Welcome to jQuery video series, and this is part 99, and today we are going to discuss on the innerwidth function. Before I jump into the code, I'm assuming that you might be having a jQuery file with you in your project, and you have also added the reference of that in your head section. Also, you have written some basic JavaScript code in order to execute a jQuery instruction. Right, and let's have a look at the markup. What I have is h2 for the heading purposes and the paragraph tags. So I got 4, and we are going to focus on the last one, and the last one has a class green, which means I am applying a border of 5 pixels. The color is green and the border style is solid. Apart from that, I'm also setting the width of an element, which is 760, which I can do also here if I want to, but for some reason I'm keeping it here. Okay, so now let's talk about the innerwidth. When I talk about innerwidth, it means let me browse this first of all and show you what is an innerwidth. So I'm viewing this thing in browser, and let's focus on paragraph 4, and I'm going to open my Firebug and I'm going to open my layout. So I'm going to select paragraph 4, and if you look at this box carefully, outside we have margin, inside of that we have border, inside of that we have padding, and inside of that we have actual element. So I want you to only focus on this element and padding. Rest apart from that, I want you to forget it. Okay, so what innerwidth means, the width of an element and width of the padding onto the left hand side and onto the right hand side. Okay, so at present you can see the elements width is 760. So jQuery provides the innerwidth function, using which you can calculate the innerwidth. So if I go like this and I tell jQuery, hey jQuery, jump into the DOM, get me all the p elements and get me the last one. So jQuery will focus on this element, and jQuery will try to calculate the innerwidth. So if I look at this element right now, so I can see the innerwidth is 760 because the padding left and the padding right is 0. So let's do the, did I just do the save? Yes, I already saved. So if I do the refresh, so you can see the width is 760 because padding and left and right are 0. Okay, so now let's go back and let's play around. So let's add a padding of 10 on to the left hand side as 10. So basically I am adding a padding 10 over here. Okay, so you can imagine, once I add a 10 over here onto the padding left and then 760 in the width, so my inner width is going to be 770 because it is going to sum this element's width, the left padding and the right padding. Right, so let's refresh. So you can see 770. Now the 770, once again, 760 is the element width and the padding left is 10. That's why 770. Let's make one more change, and let's set the width as the padding right as the 20px. So now what's going to happen is this 760 plus 10 is 770, and this 20 is going to cost me 790. Right, so I have saved my changes. Now I'm going to refresh, and you can see the 790, and now it's pretty straightforward. The padding left is 10 plus 760 is giving me 770, and plus 20, which is padding right, gives me 790. So I hope you got the idea. Innerwidth means very simple. You're calculating the element width. You're also calculating the padding left and the padding right, and you also know now that how to find the padding within that. Okay, so up next we are going to start with the outer width, which is again a fun. Oh, I'm sorry, before going there, I'm going to comment this whole thing. I forgot to mention, like I said, this method not only does the gets, it also does the sets. So we are going to set the inner width of this element as 400 pixel. So right now the width is 760, so it is going to change into 400. So the padding, this everything will be gone. Okay, so you can see the element's width is 400 pixel. So likewise, you can set a width and everything. And the same way, if I come here and if I do something like this, so I'm saying my last element having a padding left on the 10, on the padding is 20 over here. So 10 will be here and 20 will be here. And I'm saying 400 should be the width. So jQuery AutoCAD automatically calculates the width, inner width, and it will put this value as 370. So let's see that in action. So I've set the left, I've set the right, and the inner width as 400 pixel, and I'm going to run this thing. So indeed, like I said, 10 is set by us, 20 is set by us, and we are instructing jQuery that adjust yourself within the width of 40. I mean, the inner width is 40. So jQuery has only 370 to give to an actual element. So that's 370. Right, and there is one more setting the values. This is a function, so you can specify a value as a string as a 400px, but you can also specify a width using an integer if you want to. It has the same effect, right? So I hope to see you there in the next video when we talk about the outer width. And once again, thank you for your time on this, and thank you for listening to me.